we're going to talk about another couple specialty type of applications. We're going to start out, we're just going to make this a two-color. We'll talk about the inks first, and then we'll talk about the screens. We're going to go with the Evolution series from Lancer, which is a PVC phthalate-free product. As you know, the legislation with phthalates is ongoing, and this is a completely phthalate-free product that is in compliance, as well as some of the specifiers and the brands are moving us towards a non-PVC level as well. So we're going to use that black, and we're going to mix up a puff to go with it. We're going to use the Paralopolis logo, and the colors happen to be this black and this blue that we pre-mixed. And we're just going to add about 50% of puff base and mix those up. We're just going to add a little texture to the second part of the logo here. It's not a real difficult technique, and it's fairly basic, but we're just going to add a little bit of texture, give people something to touch and feel. So I'm going to set these aside and move to the screens. Over here to our first color. This happens to be our black, and we've already pre-registered this, but we can set this on our pins much like we did our one color. Drop that on the pins. We'll throw our air clamps. We know we're in register. And this is on a 156, which is typical for, say, a vector type of application. We're using our dual cure emulsion, such as the Chroma Blue from Chromaline, and this has got about a 12% emulsion over mesh percentage ratio, which will give us a nice ink deposit, give us the coverage that we need on white or light garments. This will be our black, so we're not going to need a lot of opacity because it's the black. Our second color is going to be our puff, and here's where it gets a little bit different. We've added a little bit more stencil thickness to our 110 here. The 110 is going to have a little bit more open area, and we've gone up to about 16% EOM, giving us a little bit more ink deposit so that we can get a little bit heavier amount of puff, so we can get that puff to come up in the dryer. So that one's also pinned. So we'll come back here to our black and drop in our ink here. Not putting too much in because we're just going to do some test printing. We'll come over to our blue. If you notice, we're running 70 durometer squeegees, standard wooden handle. We're not going to do anything too special here, but we're going to just add a little texture. These are our films that were pre-registered, and we're just running the t-shirt on the side here. The little dots are going to be the puffs. What we found is if we put a little negative space around our textures, it really gives you that real something to touch and feel that our customers are asking for. So ask Jason to come into the picture again, do the printing. And we'll start out with this just on a white shirt. A little adhesive. We're going on mostly 100% cotton on everything we're going to show you here for a couple of reasons. Unless we get into a performance fabric, the 100% cottons really aren't any more expensive or any less expensive than a 50-50. We don't have to deal with dye migration or any of the problems associated with some of those types of situations. So he's going to flood his black, do a one print stroke, clean. No need to flash here. First of all, we're butt-to-butt registered. We'll go cover some of those on the art and separations and how that works. But secondly, our colors don't necessarily touch here, so we don't have to worry about any kind of smearing or any kind of pickup on the back, because of our tensions. We'll talk about that in a minute as well. So Jason does his flood again to fill that stencil. We're going to go ahead and give this a couple of strokes because we want to make sure we get a good ink deposit here. Now to simulate our dryer, we're just going to throw this under the flash unit. So so we can see how it's going to turn out. Got a nice hot flat IR panel flash unit, so it shouldn't take us more than a few seconds here to get it to start to come up. Now I start to feel a little something here, actually kind of a nice bumpy surface, but I'm just going to give it one more stroke now just to give it a little bit more height. I wouldn't have to because this may be acceptable to my customer, but I'm going to give it a little bit more pizzazz by giving it another stroke. So he lays that just on the surface. I'm going to flash that again to simulate the dryer. It should take even less time now. Bring it around. We've got our color matched here, and we've got our nice black clean image. Now we've got just a little bit of texture to this, and when you do the close-up you'll be able to see that. And this would work basically on about any color, except for black, obviously, because you wouldn't be able to see our black. But we've got opacity in the black, so it'll work on anything. And then our puff, because we've layered it, it'll actually work on any color as well.